one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. This gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Hey, I got some wise words for that Cincinnati mayor. Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni. You gotta fight for your right to party! You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these two words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps cause they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much or how you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our block, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
When did winning not become the main thing? I always say keep the main thing, where, you know, winning is the only thing that truly matters.
Straight up, now tell me, do you really wanna love me forever? Yo. Straight up, now tell me, do you really wanna love me forever? Yo. Or is it just a hit and work out for me? Work, cause we got a good thing. Don't know if I'ma see you again. Yo. What is good with it? We got week 3 predictions, man. We in the building. But before I get into that, I hope everybody had a dope day. I appreciate you for tuning in to the show. I appreciate you for clicking on the video. I appreciate you for coming back if you're a returning viewer. I appreciate you if you're a first time viewer. I really do. Before we get into these picks and predictions, though, have you seen Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe, bro? What a killer duo. I don't know if I thought they would ever work together, but I always had hoped it. These dudes is better together than I had even imagined, bro. These dudes are unbelievable, bro. They are the best thing in sports right now, in sports media. I don't know if it's any duo or combination out there that's better than those two. You can say I'm biased. I'm a black man, so this combo hit a little bit different for me. But my goodness, it's a joy. What's even more of a joy is Stephen A. Smith's show with Shannon Sharpe that they had today. That is a hell of a watch. Y'all should go check that out. I don't be suggesting a lot of things, but when I suggest stuff that's not on my channel, it be good stuff, yo. I'm trying to find out why YouTube keep having, every time I don't click something on my YouTube, it start having me watch Everybody Hates Chris. I don't like that show. I'm not trying to tell, I don't want to say I don't like it as in like, oh, I hate this show. I just didn't watch it. Like growing up, it was on. I just chose not to watch it. I was watching other shit. But that's neither here nor there. Listen to me. You got to go check out that interview between Stephen A. and Shannon Sharpe. That thing is for the soul, man. That was a great interview, especially addressing how deep he goes into addressing the Skip Bayless situation. Oh my goodness, bro. What an episode. And so many things he said in that show I remember saying when I addressed the time. When you remind your brains back to when when Skip Bayless did all that disrespecting of Shannon Sharpe on that, everybody talk about the big episode, but when it happened, but I was talking about it before that big blowout had even happened. I had been said it, but it was so refreshing to hear Shannon say he would not be a victim to loyalty or a slave to loyalty. Because that's literally something that I said or alluded to in that video when I said, bro, I understand Skip may have given Shannon an opportunity, but Shannon ran with that opportunity. And he paid Skip back for giving him that opportunity tenfold by going in and doing his job to the best of his ability every single day. These people, which it's only really white people who be feeling like this. I noticed that a while ago. Just click on every single one of these Twitter profiles where they be talking crazy about how people should always be loyal to people who gave them the opportunity. Really, they not saying you should be loyal. They're telling you should be slaves to people who gave you an opportunity. It's just such a wicked mind state. When you taught that you were just supposed to help people with expecting nothing in return, you got these morons who come along and say, no, that's not the case. When somebody help you, you should always be in debt to them. You should be a slave to them after that, as a matter of fact. Yeah, that's just crazy to me. And there was a lot of white people at the time who was telling Shannon he should be appreciative of Skip for giving him that opportunity anyways. And I just really think it take a real strong slave master type of mindset to walk around thinking like that. But you got to understand, it's the same fans that tell athletes to shut up and play because you make a lot of money. So, but nonetheless, I remember constantly saying on that episode, like, yo, I understand Skip done a lot for Shannon, I guess, but Shannon got to understand, like, bro, I don't owe this man forever, bro. Like, just because you do something great for me does not mean I owe you forever. What it means is that I will remain loyal to you and I won't forget what you did to me. It does not mean that I will remain in your pocket. That's crazy. And I noticed that y'all feel that way a lot when it comes. It's just so funny how racist sports media is. I ain't even just talking about like basketball, football, because I was watching a thing with MMA the other day. And MMA is a sport that a lot of white guys talk about because not a lot of black dudes talk about the MMA sports. And I notice a lot of these times when they're having conversations about fighters that people don't like, it's a lot of the black fighters that they talking about people not liking. And every time I hear them talk about why the black fighters aren't liked, but they never deduce that. They never say to themselves, I wonder why it's always the black fighters that people seem to have a problem with. Instead of deducing that, they always like to say, well, these white guys show personalities and stuff like that. And it's just further proof that white dudes can say, do whatever the fuck they want to and gain a fan base. And when a black man chooses just to behave normally and go out there and win because he don't want to act a fool, because he know the repercussions sometimes of him being himself. We done seen it multiple times. You name any black athlete who chose to be himself and see how they constantly is ridiculed and criticized. But a quiet one like a Leon Edwards or a Kamaru Usman can go out there and can be hated. Now you tell me why that is. Hey.
Why you gotta bring race into it?
You want to know what's funny? For all you jackasses who love to use that line on repeat.
Why you gotta bring race into it?
Or that, here another one is.
I was rocking with you until you had to bring up race.
Yo, for all of you who like to do those type of comments, this is one for you. How about you choose to hop off of your high horse, address these racist issues, and maybe, just maybe, you would no longer have to ask the question,
why you always gotta bring up race?
Because y'all sound like a bunch of fucking virgins. But nonetheless, y'all gotta go check out that interview because it was a great one. With that being said, let's get into these picks, baby. I just want to point out to y'all, last week for week 2, The big dog Henry went 7-8, bro. I just want to throw that out there. I make a lot of picks and a lot of my predictions, I'm over 500. You think I make it look easy, but Henry is proof. I'm just fucking with y'all. Listen. Me and Henry both start off 1-0 this week. We both took the 49ers to win the game. But moving on to the Tennessee-Cleveland game. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Big Dog Henry did take Cleveland to win this game. And I did not put down his scores that he had for the game. So that don't even matter this week. But he did take Cleveland to win this game. However, when he picked this team, Nick Chubb was still healthy. And Deshaun Watson had not just put on the performance he put on Monday Night Football. So, I asked him today, yo, you want to make any changes? You want to solidify any picks? He said no. He made one change, and it was the New England thing. He didn't say this one. So, his pick is still Cleveland. With that being said, I'm taking Tennessee. Ain't no shot I'm taking Cleveland after what I just saw on Monday, bro. I told you, Hen, I'm about to get on a heater, bro. Listen, I like Cleveland's defense. Oh, actually, before I get into the show, before I get into these picks, pause on the picks. Yo, I was talking about Brock Purdy last night, and Brock Purdy had a better game than I actually gave him credit for in that game last night. Well, actually, I feel like I gave him enough credit because I said in the second half he had a better game. But Brock Purdy had a way better game in the second half than he had in the first half. The first half could have just been because it was a short week. Now, I do see a lot of people trying to act as if Brock Purdy had like some outrageous, like otherworldly type of game. And it just show you that the bar for white quarterbacks and whatnot. But I'm not saying that. But I'm also not telling you that Brock Purdy had a terrible game. But yes, in the first fucking drive of the game, he threw like 4 interceptions and all of them got either batted down or dropped. So, I mean, but yeah, he had a rocky first half, but he had a phenomenal second half. But back to the regular schedule program. I'm taking Tennessee because as much as I like Cleveland's defense, and I do like Cleveland's defense still do that BS, bro. Where at least once or twice a game, they just give up the most insane big play. And either it's a touchdown immediately or the drive ends up in a touchdown. I don't know why Cleveland does this. It's as if everybody on the defensive side of the ball falls asleep, specifically the secondary. And they just give up the craziest I want to see if it's a stat that can tell you the team that give up the most random big plays throughout a game. And I want to see what Cleveland's stats look like in that department for the last 3 years, because it's been like a 3-year thing. I'm very interested in that. With that being said, though, I have no faith in Cleveland's offense. None whatsoever. They did go out and get Kareem Hunt. I don't think Kareem Hunt will start this game. I think Ford will still start. But regardless, they don't provide for you what Nick Chubb provided for you. And Deshaun Watson looked better with Nick Chubb than without Nick Chubb. And he really didn't look that great with Nick Chubb. He looked way worse without Nick Chubb. And now he's going to have no Nick Chubb for the entirety of the season. And I'm not telling you that the Browns won't have a good run game. But what I am telling you is the run game won't be as good as it would have been with Nick Chubb. Dramatically different without Nick Chubb. What I also am telling you is, as much as I like Amari Cooper, bro, I don't know Amari Cooper, what much he can do. Like, Deshaun Watson might have a good game here or there, but just from what I'm seeing, bro, and I don't know how much longer people want to give Deshaun leniency, but he just don't look good right now. And it's like I said in my previous video, Deshaun Watson right now, when I'm watching him play, the games he played last year and all the games he done played so far this year, from what I am seeing, it looks like a quarterback. He don't look that much different than Deshaun Watson that was great 3 years ago. The problem is he don't look exponentially better than that Deshaun Watson. And the reality is Deshaun sat out for about 2 years, if not more. He didn't improve in those 2 years. You could say he didn't get worse, but he also definitively did not get better because he wasn't playing. The NFL definitively got better. and moved on and progressed. Something that Deshaun missed out on because he wasn't playing. Now, the reality also is he can't go back and make up that time. And the NFL won't stop for 2 years for him to make up that time either. So, you can choose to look at this as Deshaun will eventually get caught up, or you could look at this in a more realistic view, in my opinion, as to the NFL might have just passed Deshaun Watson by because he took those years off. Not to mention, you can't really feel sorry for him, not only because of his off-the-field stuff is on him, but the first year he chose to miss was completely on him. He didn't want to play for the Texans and just chose to sit out. He wasn't suspended. He could have played. He chose not to. That was on him. He could have been out for a year and a half. Instead, it was 2 years and like 2 years and a half. So, listen, I'm at the point now where I need to see Deshaun Watson be great again, because the problems that Deshaun had when he was with the Texans, they are amplified now, and you can clearly see him now. Like, he hold on to the ball way too long. I've never thought Deshaun Watson was the greatest of breaking down, reading defensive coverages with his eyes. I thought he always more so relied on his talent and the talent at his receiving position, DeAndre Hopkins. Now, it's really interesting that he don't throw it to Amari as much as you would think, because Amari is a phenomenal route runner. But like I said, 2 years out, you're not seeing things the way you would have seen him if you had kept playing for those 2 years. So that's one of the reasons I'm really realizing it's going to be hard for me to be picking for the Browns. And maybe if I had sat down and thought about it, but I really think I needed this game on Monday to really open my eyes to that fact. Like, everybody keeps talking about Deshaun Watson. Can he get back to he might not get back to being that Deshaun Watson. So I'm taking Tennessee. And Henry is taking Cleveland. Now, another reason I'm taking Tennessee is not just because of the offense of Cleveland. While I don't trust Ryan Tannehill on a game-to-game basis, I actually like the running back combo that they're doing right now, because Derrick Henry taking I cannot remember their rookie running back his name at the moment, but he's splitting snaps in between the rookie running back, and the rookie running back look fresh right now. I don't know how long this could last where he looked this great, but you know, they look good taking the snap. But my problem is, and DeAndre Hopkins, I mean, he looked like D-Hop, but bro, the Titans are gonna have to score early. It's just so tough, bro, because if you can stop the Titans from running the ball good early, you could probably put them in a hole, because they're gonna try to establish the run early. And the Titans' offensive line is not the offensive line it used to be. The defense for the Titans is going to keep them in the game, in my opinion. I just love the Titans' defense. They got so many different pieces on that defense that are great players. And Cleveland is not an offense that, in my opinion, will, for one, if the run game is not good for Cleveland, this could be a long game. A combination of two things could make this a very tough watch. The Titans not being able to run the ball and Cleveland not being able to run the ball. If neither team can run the ball, this could be a long watch. But I do think it'll end up being a close game. But I think I'm gonna take. Now it ain't no thinking. I'm taking Cleveland, not Cleveland. Tennessee. I meant Tennessee. I'm taking Tennessee. Atlanta, Detroit. Big Henry taking Detroit. And at first I was taking Detroit. And I still might take Detroit. But I've been watching Atlanta. I haven't actually watched their full games yet. When they were on, went back and watched some Atlanta film. And I like Bijan. I like the run game. How I forget this man's name. It's the other running back who been playing good that people keep saying bench him for Bijan, but the dude ain't even playing bad, so I don't know why you wouldn't just keep running both of them. But while Desmond Ridder has not impressed me whatsoever, or has not shown me much of anything whatsoever, the Falcons keep finding ways to win these games, man. And I could make reasons as to why they don't won against the teams. But then again, I prefer to be an optimist at this moment. But with that being said, I think I am taking Detroit. Now, I'm not quite sure because Detroit is missing. I don't know if Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to play this game. But Jared Goff looked good last week. And I can actually see improvements in Jared Goff's game. So, you got a home game in Detroit. I have to believe Detroit. And Detroit got to realize we cannot go to 1-2. We are not the type of team that can believe in ourselves that if we start losing too many games when we thought we was going to be winning games, that we can dig out of this hole. I do think this will be a closer game, but I'm not quite sure why I think this is going to be a close game. Like, I understand it's a lot of Detroit supporters, but just based off of how they end, bro. Okay, so I'm thinking about what I've seen from Detroit this year and what I saw from them last year. I'm not really thinking about the history of Detroit. What people keep saying they see from Detroit is not what I see from Detroit. But I don't see a bad team from Detroit. I just don't see what everybody else see, which is why it's not easy, in my opinion, to pick these Detroit games. But I am going to take Detroit to win this game. And Henry taking Detroit to win this game also. New Orleans, Green Bay. Henry is taking Green Bay. I am taking New Orleans. And it's tough, bro. It is tough that I'm taking New Orleans in this game. But after thinking about it for a couple days, New Orleans, for one, as much as I love, and you know how much I love the Packers defense, the Packers line, the Packers offense, all that, the coach, all that. However, they start these games off kind of slow. Okay? Jordan Love is having to find his way to get into a rhythm. Last week was a little bit different because you don't have Aaron Jones. I imagine Aaron Jones will play this week, but he might be on a pitch count because he is nursing or coming back from a hamstring, I believe. And as good as A.J. Dillon is, he just does not give you the different aspects of, he don't provide for you what Aaron Jones provide for you. Aaron Jones is just a different type of weapon. Whereas he's a multi-dimensional weapon, whereas A.J. Dillon is more of a one-dimensional type of weapon. And that's not a bad thing. It's just showing you how great Aaron Jones is. You do get him back this week. However, New Orleans is a great defense. Now, I'm not too impressed with New Orleans' offensive line, but I also am not that impressed with Derek Carr to start the season. However, Chris Olave is a great receiver. Michael Thomas done look good to me since he done got back. Before too long, they're going to get Alvin Kamara back. I really think, even though this is in Green Bay, I don't imagine that Derek Carr will play a great game. Like, I can see him throwing an interception or two. But I do believe that this could end up being one of those games that end up being so long and so close for pause. This could be a close game throughout the duration of the game where the Packers defense, the one thing that hurt them is when they start doing dumb shit for no reason. This could be one of them games where they make a dumb play and bite on a route where Olave get deep. I do think it'll be a close game, but I do think this is a game that Green Bay will lose. And Jordan Love will learn from it, but I do think New Orleans will end up pulling out a close victory in this one. Denver, Miami. Me and Henry both have taken the Dolphins to win this game. Now, I was talking about Russell Wilson last week, and I stand by everything I said about Russ as far as how he played from the pocket and whatnot. But Denver's defense has just not been good this year. It's no way that Russ give you the amount of points he done given you in these first 2 weeks and you still lose both games. That's not on Russ. I just want to put that out there. Like, I'm so sick and tired of quarterbacks going out there getting their team 30. The defenses did not put in points in that. If an offense go out there and get you 30 plus fucking points and the defense just choose in the second half, let you score on damn near every possession, bro, that's not on the offense. That's on the defense. I understand it's a 4-quarter game, 2 halves, but come on, bro. Especially against an offense that's not even like, that's been struggling the whole game. What did you randomly do or not do that they just started going off on you? So I just want to put that out there first. But with that being said, I do not think Denver is going to end up winning this game. For one, Miami is just too prolific of offense. Denver's defense has not shown that it can even stop average offenses or offenses that we don't even know what they're going to do on a weekly basis. Miami know exactly what they're going in there doing on a weekly basis. They know exactly how they want to attack a defense. They know exactly what they want to do on offense. They know exactly the guys who they want to get it to on offense. And the guys who get it know what to do with it on offense. And that reason right there is why the Miami might look better than everybody else for a long time. And now eventually I could see Miami slowing down, but not necessarily because they slow down, just other teams beginning to catch up because they start to hit their groove also. But Miami, and that's to me the positive of Mike McDaniels, because they started off hot last year. They started off hot this year. You could clearly say his offense, people, I don't care what you say about Tua. Clearly the offense is simple enough to where, or however you feel it is, it might be the most complex offense in the league, but either Tua is just a mastermind. The offense is clearly not too ridiculous or complex to where Tua can't pick it up to start a season every year and hit the ground running, basically. Not to mention, hey, something is going on in there where Tua and these boys is ready to start every year. We hear everybody talk about rust, this and that. Bro, rust is clearly not a problem. I'm saying R-U-S-T. It's clearly not a problem for the Miami Dolphins to start these seasons. So, shout out to Miami. And that's who we both picking. The Chargers head to Minnesota to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Is this correct? Oh, the big dog Henry took Minnesota in this game. And this is crazy because I put the Chargers down as the team I was taking. I kind of want to change my pick, though, because I actually kind of want to take Minnesota to win this game. But Henry already got Minnesota, so I kind of want to stay with the Chargers. But I got no faith in the Chargers. But Justin Herbert could have a big game to just will the team. The Chargers defense is just not good, man. It's just not good. And that's what's really hurting Brandon Staley is that, bro, you're a defensive-minded dude, and we bringing you talent after talent after talent, and you're not getting it done. This is a tough game to pick. This actually might be the toughest game to pick. Because I'm not a fan. The Vikings defense, bro, you don't really know what you're going to get completely yet. Brian Flores could have them going one week. One week they could look like the Vikings from last year. So I'm not really sure. And then the other problem that I'm having right now is that Minnesota love to play games as if the first half does not matter. Like in the first half of games, really the first 3 quarters of games, Minnesota like to play as if they play 82 games a season. And then when the fourth quarter comes around, it's like they begin to play as if, man, we need to win this game. We only got 17 games to play this season. So it's very interesting when you watch a Minnesota game. I really don't want to get this pick wrong for some reason. But I think I'm taking Minnesota in this game too. Minnesota playing a lot of close games, so they know how to play close games. They know how to come out on top in close games. And the Chargers just keep showing me that they know how to lose close games. And I don't know what it is with the Chargers, bro. Excuse me. I should not be choosing against Justin Herbert when the opposing team he is about to play does not have some offensive guru at offensive coordinator or quarterback. or a head coach. They don't have some top 5 defense. They don't have a top 5 quarterback. Yet and still, not only is it hard for me to pick the Chargers to win this game, I'm picking Minnesota to win this game. So something not clicking right now in LA with the Chargers. New England is in New Jersey, taking on the New York Jets. I believe it's in New Jersey, but who knows? I'm taking New England to win this game. I think I saw a stat that said that the Jets haven't beat New England in like 14 games in a row. This can't be real. Dog, I'm looking at this thing and it said that you took the Jets, bro. It's saying that you took the Jets. Now, you knew Aaron Rodgers done been hurt for 2 years. So you could tell me in the comment if that's just a misspeak. And don't lie either, because I'm going to pull up the message. But I'm just going off of what I wrote down on this paper. The big dog Henry took the Jets. I'm taking New England. I'm not picking with Zach Wilson, bro. I don't give a damn how good that defense is. New England's defense is good enough to where they can keep him in the game long enough to Mac to get some points on the board. So I'm taking New England. I'm not watching this game. I'm not even going to lie to you. That's why I'm not finna spend too much time on this game. Hey, actually, hold up. Hey, we're going to have a conversation about Bill in a minute, bro. How long, bro? How long can he be living off of them Super Bowls, bro? This ain't right at this point. This ain't right for us to keep saying, oh, yeah, he won all them Super. Bro, come on now. It's just crazy. But moving on. Buffalo, Washington. Big Dog Hen took Buffalo, and I am taking Buffalo also. You want to know something that really bothers me? Aside from the fact that Josh Allen won AFC Player of the Week over Lamar Jackson. Washington, I was having a conversation with this dude on Twitter about top defensive tackles in the game. And we both agree that Cameron Payne and Jonathan Allen should be the top 10 defensive tackles. But we also both agree something is missing there. Because in my opinion, if you look at the defense for Washington and look at some of the players on that defensive side of the ball, that should be the best defense in football. I think I saw somebody this week say that. Also, that should be the best defense in football. If not the best, they should at the very least be a top 5 defense that you could say on a weekly basis, bro, that might be the best defense in the league. But they ain't. And that's a problem. They aren't. And that's a problem. And I don't understand what's missing. You got Sweat. You got Allen. You got Payne. I mean, you got Chase. Like, it's so many players on the defensive side of that ball. At least on the defensive line. And just some not clicking. I could even argue at their best, they have not looked anywhere near what their ceiling is. And that's a problem for me when I think about it. And it's just further proof that Ron Rivera, I don't care if they 2-0. It's further proof Ron Rivera does not get anything extra out of his players. They play off of what their God-given ability is, or if they just have an extra motivation themselves. Ron Rivera is not getting anything extra out of these studs he got lined up on defense, bro. He's not. Because it's no reason why this defensive front should not lead the league in sacks or be a top 5 sack team every year, bro. People should fear playing against Washington. Instead, what people worried about in Washington is the fucking name being changed back to some racist ass Redskins. You can't make this shit up, man. But I'm taking Buffalo. And while I'm not happy that Josh Allen ended up winning that Player of the Week over Lamar Jackson, it just continues to show you how biased the fucking media is. Oh, our boy played so bad in week 1, but we're going to show them he played good in week 2, so we're going to give him an award, even though somebody else deserved it over him. But it's nonetheless, it's no shade, because obviously I love Josh Allen. That's my guy. But listen, I be on here trying to defend Josh because I know a lot of people going at my guy right now. I know a lot of people don't. They down on the on the Buffalo. I am not. I still very much believe Buffalo is a great team. And if we talking about Buffalo, we gotta talk about my boy, Matt motherfucking Milano. All pro Matt Milano. Bro, I saw a clip where Eric Bieniemy was talking about Matt Milano. This is further proof that AB knows ball and he should be a head coach. Because I've been getting on here for 2 years now trying to tell y'all how fucking great Matt Milano is. As a matter of fact, it's very rare that I talk about the Buffalo Bills and I don't talk about Matt Milano. Because Matt Milano is him. I'm telling you. One of my favorite defensive players in the league. Just go watch a Buffalo game. You don't even gotta watch the whole game. Just watch the defensive side of the ball. Matt Milano is everywhere. It don't make sense how, I'm telling you, he went to Boston College like Luke Kuechly. And I know it's gonna sound crazy. He played damn near just like Luke Kuechly, bro. I'm telling you. Right now, I think he lines up outside, but I'm telling you, Matt Milano, all pro Matt Milano, bruh, best linebacker in the league, bro. That's where I'm headed, bro. I know he not, because you got the Micah Parsons and whatnot, but Micah can't defend the pass the way obviously, Matt Milano is not the pass rusher that Micah is, but he is also not just asked to go rush the passer. Because if you ask a player like Matt Milano to just go rush the passer, if you ask Matt Milano to rush the passer 50% of the time, you have wasted Matt Milano. Because everything this dude can do, bro, I'm telling you, it's going to sound like I'm giving him the highest of praise, and so it's going to sound crazy. But think about how Ray Lewis could do everything. I'm telling you, that is Matt Milano. This dude is a fucking stud. I understand why they let Tremaine Edmonds go, even though he is a stud too. But I'm taking Matt Milano over Tremaine every day of the week, bro. It's not even, I don't want to say it's not close because Tremaine is phenomenal, but bruh, Matt Milano is different. I'm telling you. The way EB feel about him is the exact way times a billion how I feel about him. And it just feel good for me to talk about Matt Milano so much. And I know I haven't put out my list of the top players who will have breakout seasons this year, but I promise you, Matt Milano was number one on that list. And my fight was the biasness of my Matt Milano love, because I talk about him a lot. So I felt like people who watch the show would be like, bro, you put him first because you talk about him. But I just feel like because I talk about him, you got to understand the media don't talk about Matt Milano when they talk about the top linebackers. And this is a dude who just was an All-Pro last year and could have been an All-Pro the year before that. So I'm just telling you, yes. Will I stop talking about Matt Milano? No. Will you hear a lot of Matt Milano talk on this? Yes. Yes. Because that's my guy. And so I'm taking Buffalo, bro. It's no way I'm finna go off on that little... It's no way I praise Matt Milano like that and I'm finna pick against him. It's no shot. Taking my guys. Buffalo wins that. Houston is in Jacksonville taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, this is an interesting game because you see, me and Henry both chose Jacksonville to win this game. And I think I'm going to keep Jacksonville as my pick. However, Jacksonville, once again, has not started the season off good. And now, I'm not sure if I don't know if I want to put it on coaching. I need to keep watching. But what I do know is Jacksonville need to get to understanding what this offense is every drive. Because it just feel like it's times where Jacksonville don't even know what they want to do on offense. It's like they out there guessing also. Now, I think one of the reasons that is the case is because Trevor Lawrence is not the quarterback that we want him to be yet, that they want him to be yet. And when the run game is not dominating for Jacksonville, the offense can sputter. It can just look bad, as it did against Kansas City. However, and I'm going to tell you another reason it's tough for me to pick Jacksonville, because I like Houston's defense. I've been telling y'all that all year. I like Houston's defense. I like the secondary. You know what? Maybe my heater will start next week because I'm taking Houston, actually. I'm not taking Jacksonville. I'm taking Houston because I don't think Jacksonville. I really haven't seen enough of CJ Stroud to make me want to pick him. I'm taking Jacksonville. I'm going to stick with Jacksonville. I'm going to be real mad if Houston win this game, though. The Colts are in Baltimore taking on the Ravens. I ain't going to take too long on this, even though this is my team. The Colts don't have Richardson. Gardner Minshew will be playing, so the Ravens better fucking win this game. So, yes, I'm taking the Ravens, but also Lamar Jackson is that guy. He is one of those hymns. He's balling. Even without Odell playing. You got Zay, you got Mark, you got Aguilar. They calling him Nelly. And the defense don't look good for ball. Even though I still think Baltimore is in desperate need of a win 90% of the time type of pass rusher who can close out games for him. That's a discussion for a Ravens video down the line. But I am taking Baltimore to win this game at home. Plus, I don't even know if the Colts have beaten Lamar Jackson in like the 4 attempts of playing him. Carolina is at Seattle. This not going to take too long. I'm taking Seattle. Henry also took Baltimore in that last one. He taking Seattle in this one also. This will probably be a more competitive game for the simple reason Bryce Young won't be playing. So that means Andy Dalton will play. And you can open up the playbook a little bit more for Andy Dalton because he done played in the league for so long. So I do think this will be a more competitive game, but Seattle will win this game. Seattle know they can't lose a game like this, especially if you're trying to be playoff contenders. You're trying to win your division. You in a division with the 49ers are undefeated. So, yeah, Seattle understand they can't lose this game. Chicago taking on the Chiefs in Kansas City. A loud week for Justin Fields and this Chicago team. Listen, I done made my thoughts on Justin Fields very, very clear. But at this point, I've resigned myself to understand that y'all not watching the full games. Y'all definitely not watching all of the games or every game of this dude's career because, listen, I think it's wild that y'all saying, oh, they don't have quarterback design runs. They had them all last year and they did them even when they didn't have them. And how many wins did that get them? So sure, let's just say fuck his past development, something that he has shown you no growth in at this point. And let's just get him back out there running the ball left and right so we can have some highlights that will more than likely ultimately end up in an L. I got the Chiefs winning this game. Chicago could end up sticking around in this game because they let Justin Fields run around or because they end up hitting some screens that work. Regardless, when they start having to throw the ball at the end of the game, something that y'all are now saying that he shouldn't have to do because y'all should allow him to run it, he will probably throw an interception or fumble the ball. And the Chiefs will end up stacking onto the lead and closing out the game. That's how all Bears games end with Justin Fields at the helm. But let's blame God at this point. Pittsburgh is in Vegas. This is a tough game to pick, believe it or not. Why is this a tough game to pick? Because I watched Monday Night Football. And I watched that Steelers offense. It's trash. Much like I expected. Which is why I said going into the season, for the Pittsburgh Steelers fans who kept saying, oh, we'll figure it out on offense. When you go into a season saying we'll figure it out on offense, you'll probably be shit on offense. This is a good assumption. And so that's why I did not fear the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm irritated if Baltimore lose to them. Because I don't care how good Hightower, Watt, and that defense is. They would not have won. As great as Watt and Hightower played, Highsmith played. They don't win Monday night if Deshaun Watson wasn't so bad. So, that is why it's tough to pick the Steelers. Because it don't matter how great that defense is. The offense. And you blaming Matt Canada. I could care less who you blame. At some point in time, people are going to have to realize, whether it's a good coach or a bad coach, all coaches ain't turning certain players into gems. Najee Harris just don't see the field good at times. He don't see, and that's to me why he not that elusive at times. There's a lot of things that's wrong with Najee's game that you can't put on Matt Canada. Kenny Pickett does not see the field great at all the time. He's not got the strongest arm. He's not the super accurate from everything we done seen. That's not always going to be on Matt Canada to try to fix. But even if you feel as though Matt, and the offensive line, I don't know what y'all want him to do about that, but even if you feel like, because I understand y'all think it's just some magical potion of play calling that can save bad players ultimately, but even if you feel like all of that can happen, Mike Tomlin is the one who won't fire him. So why are you mad at him? Matt Canada not going to fire himself. So it's very confusing. Now, against my better judgment, I'm taking the Raiders. Especially if Devontae Adams plays. Because I just feel like Jimmy Garoppolo is a better quarterback at the end of the day. And if he can stay healthy, they should win this game. Josh Jacobs will not have negative something yards again this week. While I think McDaniels is still a terrible head coach and provides much little to nothing to the Raiders on the field and skill department, I do feel as though they will find a way to get this win at home. The interesting thing about the Vegas Raiders are they look really no different than they looked with Derek Carr. So for the people who was out there saying they would regret getting rid of Derek Carr, yeah, wrong. But Philadelphia, this is a Monday night game. They are in Tampa Bay taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I gave Baker Mayfield his credit, bro. I gave him his credit last week. I couldn't even believe it. I'm sitting there watching this game last week, and I'm watching him dice up the defense. Who was they playing last week? I ain't even gonna work too hard. I'm gonna just go look. The Bears. I ain't gonna lie, I did not expect that. He getting the ball out quick, more decisive with his passes. not short hopping a lot of them as much as he used to, not overthrowing them, putting them all out in the crazy spots like he used to. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Baker Mayfield he looked decent. But this could be an interesting one. Because while I don't want to say I don't like Philadelphia's defense or with a secondary, but it don't blow me away like it did at the start last year. But Baker Mayfield ain't the type of quarterback that I think is going to be taking too many advantages of Philadelphia secondary blunders, even with the Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. So while I do think this will be closer because Baker done looked better this year, I do think Philadelphia will ultimately pull away and get the win in this game. Shout out to Jalen Hurts. And one thing I just want to make clear, when did winning not become the main thing? And I always talk about the main thing being the main thing. The Rams, my Rams, in Cincinnati, taking on the Cincinnati 49ers. Good Lord. Taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't know if Joe Burrow playing or not. I don't care if he playing. I'm still taking the Rams. Call me biased. And you could be right. Listen, the Rams haven't looked bad this year, bro. They haven't. If the Rams had looked bad, it would be a different story. But I don't think they look bad. They play way more physical now. We traded away Cam because Williams done been a way better back. Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell. It's go time. Matt Stafford, I know he threw 2 interceptions in that last game. But to be completely honest with you, the first one that he threw was the downfall. That's what changed the game, and that one wasn't even his fault. So I have faith in my team. Not to mention, the Bengals defense have not looked like the Bengals defense it looked like the last 2 years. No Jesse Bates back there. They do have pieces that they haven't got from last year. They didn't get a sack on Lamar Jackson, so the pass rushes done went to sleep. And yeah, Joe Burrow could possibly be hurt limping into this game. I think they play that up way more than they have to because they don't want to talk about Joe Burrow just not playing good in a loss. They would rather try to immediately find an excuse as to why one of their white knights didn't play great. But I digress. I won't be mad. Well, I will be mad because obviously I'm a Rams fan also. But I would not be shocked if the Bengals decided to wake up and started winning games again. But the Bengals just don't look good to me right now. They didn't look good in week 1. They didn't look good in week 2. Yeah, they got it going at the end of these games, but that's because I feel like pride started to kick in where it's like, yo, we can't get our asses whooped at home against the Ravens, a divisional rival. But the hard part about picking this game is that you know Cincinnati puts itself in a tough spot to start 0-3. But maybe not if you look at the Chargers struggling, the Broncos struggling. I mean, you look at so many different top teams that's struggling right now. That lead a wild card wide open, especially when you consider they have to feel like they can beat the Steelers. I don't know how you feel like you can beat the Browns because you keep losing to them, even though on paper you would feel like you're a better team. And on weekly basis, you would feel like you're the better team. It's just when you match up against the Browns, somehow you forget how to play football. But me and the big dog Henry are both taking the Rams in that game. And me and Henry is also taking Philadelphia in that previous game. But I told y'all, he taking Pittsburgh in the other one. I'm taking Vegas. But with that being said, I appreciate y'all for joining me, man. I'm actually tired. Y'all couldn't even imagine, bro. The food poisoning was fucking me up. I'm actually exhausted. Like, I haven't, like, the way I slept last night and the way I'm gonna sleep tonight, I ain't slept like this in forever. So, yeah. With that being said, though, I appreciate y'all for joining me on another episode of Kicking It with Saint. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You could be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share, because I truly do appreciate it. And it helps out a ton. Saint out.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking the summers. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Say.